Hello and welcome to Writing Your Reality. I'm Traci Harding and today we're going to be discussing the art of visualizing, mapping out and describing locations. Now whether they be historic or contemporary, futuristic or otherworldly, there's ways and means of getting across a vivid image of your setting to your readers without boring them to tears or losing the flow of the story. So let's discuss ways of finding those happy mediums. One aspect of writing that most aspiring writers have trouble with is visualization. This can be a huge problem when writing about locations, especially in genre fiction, when often the place you're writing about no longer exists, is a figment of your imagination, or is yet to exist. For me as a reader, I know that when I'm reading a description, I'm formulating a picture in my mind. If enough of the location is described, I can fill in some of the blanks. For example, when someone mentions a castle, an image immediately comes to mind. But if someone is trying to describe some unknown location in another dimension, planet, or cyber world, you have to work a lot harder to give your reader a clear picture of where they are. If once a description is complete and I look around the picture in my mind and there are large blank areas, then the writer has not done their job properly. If you cannot envisage the location your characters are frequenting, then you cannot possibly expect to be able to describe it accurately. From running courses in visualization, I have discovered that although many writers can visualize, some writers think purely in words. But still, there are ways to achieve a vivid description of your location either way. For the visualizers amongst us, it can be fairly easy just to follow your characters and describe where they're going. But if it is somewhere particularly unusual and you have some of those shadows or blank spots in your vision, you can create your structure or location in the same way one might build a CGI animated 3D graphic. Start with a wireframe structure, then add texture, furnishings, nature, symbology. I have a list of questions at the end of this tutorial that will aid you to do exactly that. Even those people who aren't visualizers could try this exercise and see if it helps to add some color and structure to your description. For the wordsmiths, whose minds just don't take to visualization at all, there are several things you can do to aid your descriptions and help you keep a grip on where everything is located in your world, as you are pretty well flying blind, but you still need to give your readers a clear picture. Whether you are talking about land, location, or a building, draw yourself a map or a blueprint. If you do a good enough job, you can include this in your book, which will save you a lot of time and effort in explaining. The visualizers amongst us can do this too. Next, get yourself a cork board, hang it on the wall in your writing space, and fill it up with your maps, blueprints, character pictures, location images, etc. Anything that has relevance or inspires your story. If your locations are not historic or don't really exist, go find some animators or 3D graphic designers who are doing more futuristic, cyber or abstract work. I would highly recommend Digital Blasphemy. I have derived loads of inspiration from his images. Print out the really good ones and put them on your board. I also create a file of images on my computer and use them as my screensaver, so I'm constantly seeing images that fire my imagination. What we seek to do with location description is to stimulate as many of the reader's senses as we can, to give them a true sense of being in the realm that we, the writer, are transporting them to. The Celts believed in 7 senses as opposed to 5, and thus I use smell, touch, taste, sight, sound, speech, and intuition to achieve the right ambience and draw the reader into the setting of my tale. When starting out, you might find it useful to have a list of questions pertaining to each of these senses. So I have included a list at the end of my PDF, which you'll find on my Patreon page. Although not all these questions will be relevant to every piece you're writing, the important observations will come to the fore. All that said, now for a warning. In my first book, I got very involved in describing the beautiful sunset or the terrain, and yet these were the very first things to be cut from the manuscript. Cut all the flowery descriptions, I was told. I thought I was doing the right thing, but in genre fiction particularly, it's more important to keep the action flowing. So my best advice is to strike a good balance. Don't waste time describing everything you see, only those things that further your tale. I have read many books where the writer will describe the room he's standing in right down to the trim on the mantelpiece, and by the time we get back to the dialogue, we've forgotten what the hell the characters were talking about. Then the reader is forced to go back pages to find out. This breaks the flow of the tale, and in any genre, that's a real no-no. So keep your description short and to the point. So I hope you found those pointers helpful. If you'd like the PDF that's got all the questions about locations, you can find the PDF at my Patreon page, Tracy Harding at Patreon. The link is below. If you like these videos, then please consider maybe supporting me on Patreon, or just liking, sharing and subscribing these videos is going to help me keep going with these tutorials. So that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!